Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the evolution to match strength hit, and this is obviously the strength 50% support type for the extreme strength side of units. Always a bit weird when they put hit as an extreme character. I mean, I know he was a villain for about 10 episodes, or I think even less. But yeah, basically, obviously now they have him as a villain, so they use him as kind of like the extreme strength covering support type unit. And yeah, overall, I think all these support type EZAs are pretty good. 150% type leads for their typing. I think where hit really excels is his greatly raising defense. I think it's something that's going to keep him relevant for a while, just due to the scaling of the meta and the fact that units need some level of base defense, and I think hit is well covered in that regard. He gives strength type units 3 key and attack and defense at 10%, and then he gives an additional attack and defense of 50% for extreme strength type units, which is really good. He randomly changes key spheres of a certain type, strength excluded to strength key spheres. He has attack and defense of 50% per key sphere obtained, and gets an additional attack and defense of 20% and a chance of performing a crit of plus 10% per strength key sphere obtained. And he changes all key spheres to strength key spheres when HP is 50% or less. And there's another 2 or more extreme class allies on the team, once only, and he guards all attacks for 4 turns when there's 3 or more strength allies on the team. So the thing is, Link skill wise, experienced fighters, cold judgment, infighter, warriors, universe 6, shocking speed, tournament power, shine the limit. He's on USS, Universe 6, Target Goku, Rapid Growth, Space Traveling Warriors, Legendary Existence, Accelerated Battle Tournament Participants, and Super Bosses. I'm gonna be honest, the big thing is, like with all these type units, to get their full kit, you need 3 strength units, you need 2 extreme units, and on the teams that hits on, that's just not. I mean, there's like decent coverage for strength. I mean, you've got Strength Jiren, Strength Frost, Strength Goku and Hit, who also counts as an extreme, thank God. And I think that's really what saves Hit individually. Of course, the big assessment of his ability is on the extreme strength team, and there he's not really giving a lot. A lot of the good extreme units all have big bad bosses and things like that. Hit just does not have these things. If you look at like the big time extreme strength units, you're looking at realistically Frieza, Cooler, Android 17 and 18, Majin Buu, Super Buu, Bojack. There's just like lots of like units that benefit from big bad bosses. Frieza, Fu, Omega Shenron. And it's not to say that Hit can't support them, it's just saying that he's not getting the link set from them. But with that being said, all these kits are still pretty good, and Hit's greatly raising defense, I think, is what really separates him. These orb units are also very dependent on orbs. Remember, he's getting his entire passive pretty much from the orbs that he picks up. So a great example of this is you would have seen with 3 orbs, 4 orbs he's barely pushing out 2.8 million, but all of a sudden you grab 6 or 7 orbs and he's hitting 4 or 5 million. And the reason for this is because the way orbs work, the way units that pick up orbs work, is each orb consequently provides the boost to the previous orbs. So a great example is he's getting 50% per orb. So he picks up 50% for the first orb, but he's picking up 50% for the second orb and 50% of the first orb again. So it becomes a cumulative build-up, and that's where like they really start to benefit. It's kind of like once they start to reach that 5, 6, 7 orb range, that's where you start to see some of the crazy stuff. And with the orb changing, they can get there fairly reliably. It would be dishonest to say that they don't get there reliably. I think most times you can get a decent chunk of orbs. Maybe not like 20. I think like the showcases where you see 20,000 orbs and they get them, and they're always hitting 12, 14 million. It's not consistent. Maybe at the rainbow level, yes. Maybe if you prioritize them and place orb changes on the team, yes. But for me, that's not their purpose. They're very clearly designed to float, to be supports. In Hit's case, you can argue that with another Cold Judgment unit, he could definitely be a good defensive unit, and I would have to agree. His greatly raising defense means that eventually he does get a very high level of defense with only a couple orbs. And I do really like his kit. I'll say out of all of the support type units, I think Hit is one of the ones that's just really, really good. Even at 55%, like attack stat wise, maybe that's probably the most inconsistent due to orbs and things like that. But in terms of raw defense and defensive output, I think Hit is really up there. In terms of links, Core Judgment your priority. Then you can just choose between Shocking Speed, Tornado Power, or Sharing the Limit. Those are going to be entirely up to you and how you feel about them. In-Fighters, not super common. Warriors of Universe 6 is self-explanatory. And Experienced Fighters isn't super common either. His best linking partner, and fortunately to their benefit, is the Extreme Strength Goku and Hit. And those guys benefit hugely from his support. 60% support from him is massive. It boosts them massively. And they actually also are a very nice linking partner for him. Their defense themselves can get really high in the second slot, like really, really high. And they do really, really well being accompanied by him. So I do think that on that merit, there's a really, if you're someone who's into Hit as a character and you've summoned for Hit and Super Saiyan God Goku, then there's a very real chance that these guys are going to be the best perfect foil for good old Hit, because altogether they're going to really come out incredibly strong with that evasion, with the extra support, with the links they share with Hit. The two make a very fun pairing. I mean, as you've seen here, they're hitting now 7-8 million. He's hitting good stats. Yeah,